Hello guys, it's Fred here from Pro Tennis Trader. I hope you're well. Now in this video we're going to be taking a look at pre-match analysis. Now I've done a couple of videos on this before, but this is actually in real time. So I'll show you my process for selecting a potentially good trading match. Now we're on Sunday the 21st of August and I'll be looking for a match that I can trade tomorrow, Monday the 22nd, which is exactly 1 week away from the US Open kicking off. So, as we can see, there are quite a few tennis matches going on tomorrow, considering it is the week before the US Open. We've got the ATP Winston, and we've got WTA Cleveland, WTA Granby, and then a couple of Challenger tournaments. Now, the Challenger tournaments I tend to avoid and mainly stick to ATP or WTA. Now, it's mainly the ATP Winston that I'll be looking at trading tomorrow. Now, what I want to do is pick a match where it doesn't matter which player wins the first set, and I'll still be able to adopt one of my strategies. So nice pricing scenario. This Millman versus Gaston, that's quite nice, 1.7 and a 2.36. So that would be a strategy one hands-on approach. If Millman won, if Millman lost the first set, then it would be a drifting favourites. Dominic Thiem, bit closer odds there, 2.1, 1.8, so it would be a smaller swing. Now, one that's really jumped out to me is this one with Fognini and Lajovic. Incidentally, it is the one with the lowest matched amount, but of course we are more than 24 hours before, so this will obviously change quite a bit before the actual match kicks off. So let's just have a look at this. So again, like the one with the Millman, what I'll be looking at doing here would be a strategy one approach if Fognini won the first set. If he lost the first set, then it would be a drifting favourites. Now, funnily enough, both of these players are players that I've traded a lot of times. Fognini is actually one of my favourite trading players. He tends to have some pretty good comebacks, and he just tends to provide quite a lot of profits, to be honest. So the first thing we need to do is go over to Flash Scores. So what we want to do here is take a look at the head-to-heads. So let's search Fognini. Tennis, not the esports. And we go to fixtures. And then we'll see tomorrow's match. So there we go. 22nd of August at 3 o'clock. Fognini versus Lajovic. Now, the odds are slightly different, but you'll see that because it's based on Bet365. And, of course, we were looking at Betfair. So if we have a look at the head-to-heads. Scroll down there. We've got Fognini's last 5 matches. Lajovic's last 5 matches. And we'll see there's just one previous head-to-head where Fognini won 2-love. So let's take a look at the score there. So this was back in 2019, so a fair time ago. If we have a look, so 6-3, 6-4, point by point. What we want to be looking at here is how the actual game was won and sort of how many breaks of service, how well each player held their service. So we'll see here, so Lajovic dropped serve twice on the first set, and Fognini just had the one break. Set 2. Quite even there. So you'll see, so 1, 2, 2 breaks again, just one break on Fognini's again. So actually a pretty close game, that one. Obviously Fognini winning it 2-love. So if we have a look at Fognini's recent form, again, what we want to be doing here is getting an overview of what his current play is like. Mainly how well he's serving, because of course we want to choose matches where he is where the player we're backing is serving well, because we want to have confidence in that player. So in this match, Fognini lost 2-1 to Rublev. Now Rublev is obviously ATP number 8. He's a higher ranked player. But what we want to look at here is how the match was actually lost and how close it was. So first of all, we'll have a look at the service breaks. So we'll see there 1 break each, and then in the first set was won on a tie break. Now set 2, again Fognini serving well, and again another tiebreak. So set 3. And just 2 breaks gave Rublev this match. So that was quite close. If we go to the stats, now a great indicator to show you how close a match actually was total points won. And you can see there, Fognini actually won 48% of the points, with Rublev obviously winning the overall match 2-1. Now that has just reminded me, we didn't look at that for the head-to-head. So if we go back to this Lajovic one back in 2019, we go to stats. And again, if we have a look at the total points won, so you can see there again, it was actually quite a close match, considering that was 1-2-love. Fognini won 55% of the points, Lajovic 45%. Okay, so we can see that Fognini is obviously serving quite well. He is obviously the clear favourite in this one. So let's have a look at this. Ramos, that was on the 16th, so sort of 5 days ago. So point by point, it looks like Fognini's serving very strongly. Yep, not many breaks at all. One break there in the second set, but quite a nice clear win there. If we go to the stats, once again, have a look at the total points won. So it is a much clearer win, 59% versus 49%. So that's fine. So we're going to have a fair bit of confidence in Fognini if we're going to end up backing him in the second set. But of course, we need to have confidence if we're going to be backing Lajovic in the second set. So let's see. It's a fairly mixed bag of results. Again, a bit like Fognini. So he's lost his last match in Cincinnati against Musetti. So let's have a look how that match was lost. So Lajovic is on the right-hand side. So he had 2 breaks there in the first set, giving Musetti the first set. Set 2, we've got 2 breaks there as well. So nothing alarming. If we go to the stats and have a look at his service stats. So first serve percentage, he's actually got the better stats there, 68% versus 59%. First service points won was obviously a bit lower at 56%, but again, nothing too alarming here. Unforced errors, pretty much on par, 26 versus 25. And the total points won. So again, quite a close match here, 47% versus 53%. So let's have a look at this match. That was on the 13th, so a couple of days earlier, versus Kozlov, which he won 2-love. Again, what we're looking for here is just checking that he is pretty confident with his serving, and he's holding his serve a lot more with few breaks. So yeah, he's just had the 2 breaks there. Stats-wise, I mean, not great first serve percentages there at 55%, but first serve points won at 75%. Now that is a very good stat. Unforced errors, a bit more than his opponent. Total points won, 54%, reasonably convincing. Okay, so from that we can see that there's really no major alarm bells, so I'd be pretty confident backing Lajovic. Of course, a lot depends on what happens in the first set in the actual match. Now, another thing that I like to do is go over to atptour.com and you go to the stats. So if you find yourself on the homepage here, you just literally click on the stats tab. And again, what we want to do here is just have another overview of the stats. So we go Fognini and just a little comparison between the 2 players. So if we scroll down here onto player stats. So he's 35, he's a bit older than his opponent. These numbers of aces, double faults are irrelevant because we want to be looking at the percentages, and it's mainly the service percentages that we want to be looking at. Now this is this whole career, but it gives us a nice overview. So first serve, 59%. First service points won, 67%. So that's okay. Now if we do the same with Lajovic. Oops. Lajovic, completely forgotten how to spell his name. There we go. And again, scroll down to player stats. So yes, he's 32, so he's no spring chicken, but he's 3 years younger than Fognini. So 66% versus 68%. This was Fognini, 59% versus 67%. So interestingly, Lajovic has actually got the better overall career stats. But of course, it is Fognini who is the favourite in this one. So ideally, what I'd be looking to do, or what I'd hope would happen, would be for Fognini to drop the first set and then back him as a drifting favourite. Now, when the drifting favourites, when this occurs, you obviously have probability on your side as well, and you are backing on paper, the supposedly better player. Now, if Fognini does win the first set, then I would need to see a good first set performance from Lajovic, and ideally no more than 2 breaks and some strong serving. And then just one final thing I like to do when choosing which match to trade is just have a Google of the two players. Now we want to check here that nothing else is going on, there's no injury concerns. And again, this just takes a couple of moments just to scan over the news. It's always good if they've got a Twitter. Quite often get quite a lot of information from the players' Twitter feeds. It's not always about winning or losing, sometimes it's just about enjoying playing a good match, keep fighting and focus. Absolutely. So there's no news here about any injury concerns. Let me just do the same for Lejovic. Okay here, I mean usually if there were some, alarm bells with the news, they would be popping up here. So you just scan over, just check there's no news going on or any dramas, but mainly you're looking for injuries. No, that's absolutely fine. So there you have it. That's my process for selecting a potentially good trading match. Now, of course, this doesn't guarantee that I will definitely be entering a trade on this match. It all depends on how the first set was won and how strong the first set loser is looking, and of course any alarm bells that might have occurred in this first set. Now, you do need to have confidence in the player you are backing. If you have any doubts, it's better to walk away with a no trade than just trade for the sake of it and potentially walk away with a loss.
Now, if you found this video useful, then please do check out my YouTube channel for loads more videos and subscribe to be notified of when I upload new videos. And if you'd like to become a successful tennis trader, then you can start your journey by enrolling on my free video course, An Introduction into Tennis Trading, at protennistrader.com. And you can also grab a free copy of my ebook, Tennis Trading, the Ultimate Guide to Getting Started. I'll see you soon.